Morning traders, this is Hippolito, aka Hip, futures trader here. Just gonna recap what I did this week. Thursday we had the big rollover day on this big red trend bar here, and my idea was this little setup that I have break when I have just continuous trend above the EMA 20, and we have a breakout through it, like for this Thursday. I'm looking for a gap bar after that, or gap bars, and then maybe at some point when it opens at the top of the range, a retest of the EMA 20, and then continue down if it has to keep on down. So that was my idea for Monday. So Monday we opened above the range, the top of the range of Friday, and we had big nice drive, and it's just very right on tip. It came down support at the Friday's VPOC and just punched right up. And that tape was looking really nice and solid. Got in really aggressively, only a couple lots, just in case it rolled, and just wouldn't let up. It just continued all the way down. I got a small scalp on the first scale, and then the last one I got 80 points on it, and I really wanted to get it up here, but I got in. There was a seller sitting around 77. He was sitting at 78. I got off at 77. He just kept reloading. I can't get out. I got out before him just in case he turned the market, and the buyers finally punched through him. And so that was that first long. Very rewarding there. And then I wanted to see a test of the EMA 20 and then the reverse and come back down and just stage somewhere below it, which it did, but I really expected to come down here. So I went short. I went up, saw some weakness, gave me the wick, looked for confirmation on the tape, saw some selling, jumped in short, and started scaling out. This one was 3 lots. Started scaling out bit by bit. Got one up there, one right at the VWAP, and then the other one I really wanted to. The other one I put a stop here as soon as it started rolling over. It rolled here. I put a stop. I really wanted my third scale somewhere down here. It pulled up. My stop was there. This green bar took me out. And that was it for that trade. Three trades for the day. This one here was me positioning myself for the breakout of the EMA 20 after I saw this bullish move here, and that was Monday. Tuesday we had this. Tuesday was a setup. Uh, Open above the 20, EMA 20, retest and pop back up, and see if we can get some up there. On this one here, I just didn't want to pay up early in the morning. For some reason, I couldn't pull the trigger. Came up, open above the EMA 20, above Monday's range, and came down, poked the EMA 20. My order was I was hovering on the dome somewhere down here, right where that black line is, and it just could not come poke a little lower and then go back in, and it just just punch right through. I just didn't feel like chasing it. I just saw that whole move unfold, and I'm like, okay. I did have a level up here, and I got this level from the 60-minute chart. There was a level here, and I wanted to see it roll over, come back down, and I got in there too soon, got stopped out. The wick was up here. My order was just before that little wick here, and it rolled over there. I was looking for something similar to this. I just got in too early, and it just went sideways right after that. I took a short here. I saw these trend lines, these little peaks. Put a trend line there. When the market came back up, saw the tape, got in, took short, and I was hoping for it to roll. Never rolled. That VWAP stood there really strong throughout the day, and then just held that market right nice and tight. So that was Tuesday. Nothing. Wednesday we had the FOMC. Now the FOMC this day I like to look for either trading range extremes or drive. And the extreme on the trading range we had was from Wednesday, open inside Tuesday's range, which was here. I'll highlight that real quick. Tuesday's afternoon's range is there, right? We opened right inside. That's that big blue line. That's my opening print. We opened right inside that range, and it just looking for pokes. It came here. I was sitting here, right below the overnight low with the white dash line, and looking for a poke drive up. Just could not even tag the overnight low, and just drove up. It came up here. I did the plan, fade the extremes on OFMC because it might go sideways, and I took it. I took a short there at 290, rolled back down, didn't get much out of it. As soon as it poked the EMA 20, the VWAP bounced up, I took it all off there, and I was all right. You know what? I'll wait for the FOMC, and I just stood there and I watched the whole thing until the FOMC took a break, came back, nice refreshed, fresh eyes. 30 minutes before the announcement. All right, my idea for the FOMC was basically find support at the EMA 20 at the moving average, on the daily moving average. Find support and then hop on and see if we can poke above, trap some shorts, and maybe they'll get out, pushing the market higher if it goes above the day's high. So that was my idea. Came down, tested the moving average, saw some heavy buying there that you could see it, that big green bar down here also. And then I got a little cold, so please don't mind that. Um, Came down, found some support there. Buyer stepped in. I wanted to see a retest. Came down on the wick. As soon as it started popping up, I got in a couple 3 lots, and I started scaling out as it was coming out. I got 13, 26, hit the VWAP, came down, tried the VWAP again. As soon as it rolled over on this flag here, on this red candle, I took it all off, and I realized what I did wrong. The idea, this right here, that right there was the boo boo. That there was a retest of the VWAP, and then they stood there. You could see it in the tape. I just saw it. I couldn't switch my bias fast enough to go and reverse the position. I just couldn't do it. It was just a very fast market. And the FOMC, you have to be very careful. It will rip you apart if you're not careful, and if you just be patient with it. You have to be patient with it, and that's what I just took. I knew what I saw. I got out, and the thing just rolled over. Came down, tested the EMA 20, came back up, and it just rolled. I did not participate in that. I just could not. I was still long biased. I almost pulled a long here, looking for another trade. But after I saw this here, I was going to wait for that VWAP to give, and then I'll find some setup somewhere up here to go long. It just rolled over and just tanked really, really hard, really, really quickly. I mean, that was 100 points in like 3-4 minutes. Right here, this big drive here, that was crazy. So that was the day. I mean, that's the only profitable trade I had. I had 2 trades, that one and this one here. Nothing crazy. I mean, that was just unfortunate that I just couldn't take advantage of this. But hey, it is what it is. Uh, that was Wednesday. Thursday, I was looking for a continuation of that selling from Wednesday. So my idea was hit the stops either. I had either here the stop or the overnight high, and then find some selling and bring it back down. And it came up here, saw the stop, came back, and I just could not pull the trigger. I wasn't convinced on the selling on the tape. It rolled over. I was hoping it would crack this, maybe give me a pullback to go lower, and we didn't get none of that, so I really didn't take part of any of it in there. Data came out at 10 o'clock, drove it up, and they just couldn't give me a hesitation, a good solid 2 to 3 minute stop of just pause and then like a pullback and then go up. Just couldn't give me that. I came in here, poked over the MA20, saw this little red bar. Okay, a retest of this bar, and I'm gonna go short. Came up really weak, low volume. I was happy. My stop was gonna be right above this high. I went short. It just stayed up there. Just stayed up there. As soon as it poked up, I just took it off. Did not even let the hit me to stop. I just scratched it and just rolled over. Nothing crazy. And then up here, I just stepped in front of it, trying to look for a high. Gave it 2 shots, and market just went sideways for that. That was Thursday. All right, this is Friday. Friday here we had this red dash line is the VPOC that I have on my 60-minute chart. This red line here is the most traded price since October 9th swing low. And that area here, I was waiting for this to come up here and roll over and look for some further price down for the next few days, maybe next week. Now I'm hoping this continues down lower. So on Friday, opened up, tagged that red line. I was looking for some selling, and I saw a seller sitting right at that high, reloading. Boom, 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 boom. He just kept sitting there. Just I put my order at 67. It just never came back to test it. It rolled back, and I did not want to chase it. So I just was waiting for a little poke up and then come back down. If I zoom in here, see these little bars right there? There was a seller sitting there. This bar came up, poked above him. They lifted, poked up, came back into that little trading range. I went, pulled my short 32, put my stop right above them, and I rolled it down. And then all of a sudden, this bar was a game changer. This one here changed my mindset big time. That bar there, big bind here. Visa had some news coming out about it, and it just changed the market overall, and just completely changed it. But that bar, this here, it came up here, and it just some selling just came in really strong. I took another short there. Actually, I scaled out everything. Took out most all my orders there, and that one there was took 10 points, 21 points, and then I took one at break even. As soon as this bar came right back up, I saw the selling. Went short again. Tried to take a couple. I took a couple more scales. Got a stop on the last three. Tested the 353 red line again. I went short again at even a better price, 51. Came down. It just could not punch through the VWAP. I took it all off. It was a small trade, nothing crazy there. And then, so I was thinking, all right, after all that, this situation here, I figured, put up my trend lines, my trusty trend lines that I like to put up. I took these lows and I put it up here. So I figured, okay, if we break through here, I want to see some drive straight up to test this up here, this line up here. Maybe we'll get up and start working some orders up here. But we got this big heavy volume over here. We got this big heavy volume here on the profile, and in that profile there, the market just could not get through that the 353. So I figured we'll come here. This probably changed the bias of the market and come and break out, and they just did this. That was just the weakest thing ever. No volume, even on a new high. No volume. I was long. I came long. I got in just before it broke. Try to get in just before anticipation. Broke one of my rules. I just like to wait for the setup to happen. I got in before the setup. I went in long. Pulled my stop right below the VWAP, just in case it rolled, and it just chugged right through. And I was scaling out. I had one scale, plus 10, plus 12, and the last three. The last three was basically when it started rolling over. That's when I took it all off, and it just started rolling down. I went to practice on my golf swing after that. That was it. That's all I did for that Friday, and then it came back after I finished practicing. Came back. I came back. I was like somewhere around here, and the market just kept rolling down, unreal. And basically, it produced this huge trend channel right here. You see how we got parallel top and parallel bottom, and just created the channel for the day, and it was just heavy selling. So the initial idea of the roll was there, but we had price action that said otherwise. Well, it seemed like it was going to do something different. So I just made adjustments to what I was seeing, and you know, I didn't get hurt. I did miss out on opportunity, but just I like to trade what I see. And yeah, that was my week. Nothing crazy, and so that's all I got for you guys. You guys enjoy the weekend, and see you Monday. Take care, guys. Trade well.